Good morning. It is Friday, July the 30th, 2021. Welcome to another edition of Let It Be Known. We expect to be joined this morning by Simone Gordon, who is called the Black Fairy Godmother, and for a lot of reasons she's called that. But first, of course, let's bring on the National Newspaper Publicists Association's president and CEO, Dr. Ben Chavis. Good morning, Dr. Chavis.
Good morning, Stacey Brown. And on behalf of the National Newspaper Publishers Association, Karen Carter Richards, our chair, representing 230 African American owned newspapers and media companies all across the United States. This is another Friday, and we're glad to be on.
Absolutely. Dr. Chavis, and the headlines this morning. The United States is facing a COVID-19 surge this summer as the more contagious Delta variant spreads. More than 611,000 Americans have died from COVID-19, and over 4.1 million people have died worldwide, according to real-time data compiled by the Center for Systems Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. Just 57.6% of Americans ages 12 and up are fully vaccinated against COVID-19, according to the CDC. As the Delta variant drives a surge in COVID-19 cases across the U.S., some local health departments are taking the lead to reimpose indoor mask mandates for all residents. Despite CDC guidance that most fully vaccinated Americans can go maskless, the move, Dr. Chavis, from local municipalities in several states, including Massachusetts and Nevada, follows the announcement earlier this month by Los Angeles County, the most populous county in the nation. They said that they would reinstate mandatory indoor masks after seeing an uptick in coronavirus cases and hospitalizations. Over the period of July 1st through July 16th, there were 13,598 cases diagnosed in LA County, and unvaccinated people represented 74% of all those cases. But get this, fully vaccinated people represented 26% of 3,592 of the cases. In Texas, Dr. Chavis, they're reporting almost 5,000 lab-confirmed COVID-19 hospitalizations, more than doubling the amount from 2 weeks ago. That's up 248% from 1 month ago and up 50% just from last week. So this is the highest number of COVID hospitalizations since March. And in D.C., Dr. Chavis, Mayor Muriel Bowser announced that everyone above the age of 2 must wear masks indoors regardless of vaccination. The mandate will be effective starting tomorrow at 5 a.m. And of course, in the House, Speaker Nancy Pelosi has ordered all House personnel and members to wear masks when on the floor or face arrest by Capitol Police. And on Thursday, Florida reported 17,589 new coronavirus cases, the biggest one-day increase since January. And finally, just this morning, Dr. Chavis, the CDC noted that the Delta variant is as contagious, and I quote, as the chicken pox. So if you get the Delta variant, you will spread it, according to the CDC, on average to 9 other people almost immediately. So there's a lot going on there with the new, with the mask mandates and with this Delta variant.
Well, I think the CDC, also updated its guidance. They're asking everybody to wear a mask, whether you are vaccinated or not. We want everybody to protect themselves, get vaccinated. But even after you're vaccinated, you must keep your mask on. I think the mayor of D.C. made the right decision. Democratic leaders, those governors and those mayors, they're making the right decisions. But we still have some stubborn Republican leaders at the state level and at the congressional level who are still anti-mask, who are anti-vaccine, and their anti-science behavior is killing people. We have to be very graphic about this. This is a matter of life and death. And to Black America, that the Black press represents, the state of emergency has not ended. If anything, the state of emergency that we issued last year has increased because of the numbers you cited, Stacey. disproportionately, still a high number of African Americans and other people of color who are have fatal results of the COVID-19, and particularly the COVID-19 variant, the Delta 3 variant.
Yeah, absolutely, Dr. Chavis. We know that, again, the Black press, under your guidance last year, had to declare a state of emergency for Black America because of all of the misinformation. And as you noted, not just from other folks, but from the government, from folks in the government.
Yes, well, again, I think the CDC, well, that was Trump getting that misinformation last year. This year, I think the CDC is right on point by warning the American public about this situation. Also, we were the first to declare that COVID-19 was airborne, was aerosol. And now I understand that the Delta variant is not only airborne, but it lingers in the air for a long time. And that's why it's so contagious. You can just pass by a person. You don't have to be right in front of the person. You don't have to, the person doesn't have to sneeze on you or even in your direction. So that's why this virus is almost, in terms of the virality of it, it is 1,000 times as viral as the original COVID-19 virus. So this virus is getting stronger, it's getting more deadly, it is more infectious, and it is spreading rapidly on all 50 states.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Chavis, here's some really interesting good news. Melody Stubbs, Courtney Harper, and Janisha Wilson, they are cousins. They live in Bolton, Mississippi, but they were pleasantly surprised when they found out that they were all pregnant at the same time, and they all are expected to give birth to twins in October. The three women, whose fathers are brothers, didn't plan the simultaneous pregnancy. In fact, they didn't even know that the others were pregnant until they posted about it on social media. I think Nisha posted first, and I saw her post, and I posted mine about a week or two later. Courtney Harper said, she called me and said, "You're pregnant? You're having twins?" When they found out through social media that Stubbs was also pregnant, they immediately created a group to share their experience during pregnancy with each other. They eventually found out that they go to the same doctor and started attending women's health events together. Melody is expected to give birth first on October 3rd to a boy and a girl who will be named Legend and Truth. And on October 5th, Courtney is expecting a boy and a girl who will be named Hendrix and Houston. Janisha is expecting two boys who will be named Carson and Kaysen. And that birth is expected on October the 11th. We certainly wish them nothing but health. We wish them well. What a story, Dr. Chavis.
Yes, we need some good news stories. And when the new census comes out, it's going to shock a lot of people. The African American birth rate is on the incline. It had tapered off for a long time because of all of the white supremacy and oppression of Black people in America. But now the birth rate is on the incline. And it's interesting that during this COVID-19, families are much more closer together. Yes. Isolation, spending time more. People even having more family meals together than they've had in the past. A lot of people are not going out to the fast food restaurants because it's too dangerous. People are cooking again. So I think one of the byproducts, what I'm trying to say is one of the byproducts of living in America and living in America during the COVID-19 is that the resilience of Black America always comes through. And so we wish the families in Mississippi all the best in their birth, but also I would hope that they would all take their health very, very seriously. And I think the highlight of the headlines today, Stacey, is that we have to pay attention to the science. We have to pay attention to the health of our people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Dr. Chavis, And everyone else, we have heard of homecoming celebrations on and around college campuses. But get this, New York City is having a major homecoming week with concerts planned beginning on August the 20th, headlined by the man himself, George Clinton, and Parliament Funkadelic. Mobb Deep will be there, EPMD, DJ Wiz, the Wu-Tang Clan, DJ Hurricane, Slick Rick, Remy Ma, Raekwon and Ghostface Killer, and others. The concerts are taking place in each of the city's 5 boroughs. The free tickets for all 4 shows, is 4 altogether, will be released to the public in batches at nyc.gov/homecoming week. Every borough will have it's 4 concerts. Now, apparently, George Clinton is going to make an appearance in 2 boroughs. It's 5 New York City boroughs for those who don't know. But the tickets are free, and you can get them beginning August the 2nd at 10 a.m. at nyc.gov/homecoming week. They will also be released online on August 3rd at 7 a.m., August 4th at 9 p.m., August 5th at 7 a.m., August 6th at 10 a.m., and August 7th at 9 p.m. So look for that. George Clinton back in action, Dr. Chavis. I know that, hey, you're a fan of Funkadelic.
Oh, absolutely. I know George Clinton. He's a great entertainer, creative genius, has his own style to the funk. And I'm sure, but these concerts are also taking place, Stacey, during the height of health concerns. So everybody's going to have to be careful. You cannot go to the concert without your mask. And if you have not been vaccinated, I don't think it's a good idea. But, everybody just got to be very, very careful.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Chavis, I want to say good morning to everyone watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and other platforms. And I want to say good morning to our special guests. Since launching the Black Fairy Godmother Foundation over a year ago, New Jersey-based Simone Gordon has helped several families dealing with issues ranging from domestic violence by way of finding safe homes, food insecurities via a partnership with Instacart, and also to the Fairy Dust Scholarship Fund, which helps women with enrollment into a community college or receive a license certificate in a field of their choice. And recently, Dr. Chavis, she linked up with the well-known source, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which made a substantial donation for the young philanthropist to continue her work. I want to say good morning to Simone Gordon. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Simone. Welcome to the Black Press of America.
Thank you so much.
And so, Simone, they call you the Black Fairy Godmother. Tell us a little bit about the foundation and how you got started.
Well, the Black Fairy Godmother Foundation was created because I had a lot of hardship during the time my son was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder in 2017. And, everyone say when you have hardship, go to social services. But when I was going to social services, at times, you get the door slammed on you, or you have to, wait. And these are going on in marginalized communities, Black and brown communities. So I decided upon myself to create a foundation where our people will not have to wait. We will get the emergency assistance right then and there, and not just provide just money, but I also want to provide stability far as opening up businesses and putting our people back into school and to work. Our foundation helps with emergency food assistance. Many people are not able to go to food pantries due to dietary restrictions. So I partner up with Instacart, and they have been waiving a lot of our delivery fees. And we deliver the food, the toiletries, and also medical supplies directly to the families. And we also assist with housing. I team up with numerous of realtors across the U.S. where we're able to find apartments for families who need to be housed. So during the pandemic, there's been a lot of homelessness. There's been a lot of people going hungry. So we created a 90-day program to get our families and our communities back to where they need to be.
Wow, it sounds like a lot of work. Simone, but you seem to be doing it. What are some of the more pressing issues that you've had to face when you're trying to provide these services or give information for these services?
Well, the challenges that I have been facing, a lot of people are saying to me, well, there's plenty of jobs available for our people, but we have to make sure that they have the resources in order to get to work, right? We have to make sure that they're mentally stable to get back to work. We also have to make sure that there's education. We have plenty of mothers who are unable to go back to work because we know that during the pandemic, many of them had to leave their jobs because their children had to be virtual. We have a lot of senior citizens who, are low income, but they're not able to eat off of 90 days worth of food stamps. So these are some of the problems that we're facing, and our foundation have been cleaning up a lot of those issues. We've been meeting with different council people and also individuals in the South. And now we have people who are internationally who are coming in, stepping up and trying to give back the best way they can for our community.
Yeah, and Simone, you recently gotten into a partnership with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Tell us how that's helped and what's the goal of that partnership?
Well, there was a follower of mine who asked me some questions about what was going on in our community, and I gave her an earful over the phone. Within 2 weeks, I received a certified mail that there was a check from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to help, to help feed a lot of families, and the money went towards our Angel Food Assistance Program. And I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic to see that they actually donated to a grassroots organization of mine, and to actually know and feel and understand the work that I'm trying to provide. And I'm just here for change. So that meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to the families as well who needed assistance.
Yeah, Dr. Chavis? Do we have Dr. Chavis with us? No, I'm sorry. So Simone, the obviously, I wanted to bring Dr. Chavis in on that because the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has had a partnership, an educational partnership with the National Newspaper Publishers Association for the past several years, helping to get the word out about education in communities of color. Dr. Chavis has rejoined us. Dr. Chavis, we were discussing the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's partnership with Simone Gordon's foundation, and I was just letting her know that they have been great partners in education for the National Newspaper Publishers Association.
Yes, for the last 5 years, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has supported the NNP, raising public awareness about education, particularly the disparities in education and how to bridge the educational gap between African Americans and other Americans in the school system. But Simone, we really thank you. You know, your leadership is great, and I'm glad that the Gates Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, is supporting your work, and hope other foundations and other philanthropic entities will also support you. I think there was ever a time that we need programs that we help everybody in the community. It is now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And Simone, there is the purple, and let's see if I get it right, the Purple Diamond Awards, Empowerment Awards. Tell us about that. That's coming up in the fall.
Yes, every year for the past 3 years, I have a award ceremony called the Purple Diamond Awards. And the Purple Diamond Awards is to basically recognize the grassroots organizations that are in our community that is making a change with women and men who are facing domestic violence, and also to award recognition to all these survivors and everything that they went through, and to provide a scholarship to stabilize them and to help them get to where they need to be. As we know, many grassroots organizations in the marginalized communities are not receiving a lot of funding. They're not receiving a lot of the recognition, because of the fact that we all know that race also plays a part. So every year we try our best to shine the spotlight on them and provide them with a financial assistance and also some other partnerships to come together and to let people understand the incredible work that they're doing.
Yeah. And Simone, how did you get started? Tell us about your journey.
Well, I lost my job in 2017 and I became a single mother to my son, Jarvis, who is severely autistic nonverbal. And he had a diagnosis. I went to the doctor, his pediatrician, along with my parents, who were very supportive. And they all came together to tell me that my son may need additional help. So I began my search late at night, contacting hospitals, contacting various agencies to assist me with his therapy, food, and also his medical diapers, because sometimes those things are covered by the insurance, but they're not good far as, having the child wear them. Um, I just kept getting doors slammed. Many of the phone numbers that 211 had, some of the nonprofits were no longer in business. A lot of the phone numbers were disconnected. So these are a lot of things that individuals like myself, especially women, are going through, where we're not seeking the help, even though it's black and white on a website stating that you can get these services. Make the long story short, I went ahead and I went on Facebook and I asked people, where can I get help for my son? And someone stated that there was a group called Reparations or Offerings that assists women of color. I joined that group. I explained that my son is on a 3-month waiting list to get services at Children's Specialized Hospital. I need medical depends, I need food, and I also need to enroll back into college. There were 4 women from various states who decided to join forces. One contacted the hospital for my son, and within a week, he got services. Another woman paid my past due balance at the local community college, and I'm still enrolled and will be graduating with my nursing degree in May. She's been, assisting on that part. And the other 2 women were just making calls throughout the state to make sure that I get the services. So I decided with these women, I'm not just going to take all these blessings. I'm going to give back to all the marginalized communities across the US and make sure that they get the same thing. And I build a community on Facebook and Instagram to let people know you have to get involved and to volunteer and to fight some of these problems that we're having, because we can't do it by ourselves. So, the foundations have been an eye opener to many people, especially, a lot of people who are not people of color, to understand that we are doing the work. It's just that, racism is something that we're facing today and doors are being slammed, but there are mothers who actually want a second chance, life after trauma.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you mentioned being a single mother. You also talked about women of color, and earlier in our news segment, we talked about some good news about the cousins having the twins. But talk about the challenges that you've seen and that you've heard about from other women when it comes to the infant mortality rate with Black women.
The challenges is overcoming mentally. The trauma stays. The trauma stays within the woman. Um, a lot of people are saying there's help. We had a woman who experiencing infant death, and she went to every step of the way. But sometimes when you have a certain insurance that is state funded, a lot of people discriminate against you. Or if you need therapy, a lot of people put Black women on a waiting list and take others who they know that they will get more money on a scale. So people don't understand, just because you have insurance doesn't mean a person's going to take it, because it's depending on the scale that they have. So women get discouraged and they walk away. Families get discouraged and they walk away. So we have to come together as a community to stop having our own neighbors and family members get discouraged when they need help or when they need these resources.
Yeah, Dr. Chavis, I'm gonna throw it to you.
Thank you. Simone, I'm glad that you are forming a network of sisters and brothers to give you support. What would you what would be your message to all families, particularly to Black America today, about the importance of giving back to one's community?
My message to everyone watching is that always remember our ancestors were one. We need to become one. We need to be stronger. We need to not let anything hold us back, because there's always, always life after trauma, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Once we become one, just imagine all the things that we can do in this world.
Absolutely. Yes. And Simone, yeah, absolutely. Simone, and briefly, so we talked about your background, but the name, the Black Fairy Godmother, where did that come from?
The Black Fairy Godmother, that name is unique. I actually got it from a mom that I helped in Maryland. She had a daughter who had a heart condition, and her name was Teresa. She was actually facing eviction. She went to 6 nonprofits and asked them for help with helping her to avoid eviction. She was also a domestic violence survivor as well. Miss Teresa had within 4 hours to obtain $1,000, or the sheriff was going to come to her home and lock her out. I was in class, and when I was in class, many people on social media was tagging me to help this woman get the $1,000. She was on Facebook Live, and she was just crying, and people were trying to cash app her what they can, but they just could not get the money up. So I briefly excused myself out of my math class in college, and I went on Facebook and I raised $1,000 within 20 minutes, and I handed it over to her in her Cash App. And Teresa went ahead and said, hey, she is the Black Fairy Godmother. That's her new name. She's like a fairy in the middle of the night because she saved me and my daughter's apartment. And that name just stuck. Everyone on social media, from regular people, celebrities all over, start calling me the Black Fairy Godmother. So I went ahead and I named my foundation after the Black Fairy Godmother.
Awesome. Well, we thank you for all that you do, Simone. Dr. Chavis, your closing thought.
Well, they gave you the right name. And I know God is going to continue to bless you, bless your family, bless your nonprofit organization. We need more sisters and brothers that face the world like you face the world. You're right. There are always going to be some traumas, some difficulties, some disappointments, but it's how you look at life. And you have a great testimony, and we thank you for joining us on the Black Press. And we're going to make sure that more people find out about your foundation. Stacey, before we close, make sure she gives out the website where people can contribute or people can find out more information.
Yeah, you want to give that website, Simone? Yes, our website is www.theblackfairygodmother.org. If you need assistance, feel free to apply. And if you would like to donate, feel free to get involved. Yes. So that's where you can go. Please do. As you can see, Simone Gordon is the real deal. And we really appreciate you joining us this morning. Don't forget, everyone, this Sunday and every Sunday, watch the Chavis Chronicles on PBS World and PBS TV, starring that gentleman right there, Dr. Ben Chavis, for more great Black news and information. Check him out. Check your local listings. And let it be known, always remember, a life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing at all. Have a great weekend. Wear a mask. Stay safe. We'll see you Monday.